Kevin Federline's book has been released, and he's made some nasty claims about Britney Spears' relationship with her kids. Bhad Bhabie's father is trying to step into the picture because he feels like he's the only one who can save his daughter, and Diddy was almost killed in prison. So let's get into it. This headline claims that Diddy was seconds from death when an inmate snuck into his cell and pressed a knife to his throat. I don't think Diddy's having a good time in prison. Ever since he's been behind bars, he's been fearful for his life, and maybe there's a good reason, because it seems like the inmates there want him dead. I think Diddy thought going into prison that he would be treated like some god because he's a celebrity, but that's not the case. Diddy's lifelong friend, Charlucci Finney, claims that an inmate armed with a shiv snuck into Diddy's cell and could have murdered him. His friend feels like this was an attempt to intimidate Diddy, not to kill him. Quote, "If this guy wanted to harm him, Sean would have been harmed. It would only take a second to cut his throat with a weapon and kill him." But this guy probably just wants Diddy to know his place within this prison. His friend continued that it was probably a way to say, next time you ain't gonna be so lucky. Everything's intimidation, but with Sean, Diddy, it won't work. Diddy is from Harlem. So I don't know, maybe Diddy's fighting back when it comes to these guys. For some reason, I would have thought he got maybe a little soft with his celebrity, that he would probably follow their rules.
Diddy woke up this morning with a knife to his throat, you guys. But it didn't quite go in. Apparently, according to the Daily Mail, Diddy's godbrother Charlucci Finney just reported that Diddy woke up at the Metropolitan Detention Center this morning, and there was another inmate standing there with a knife to his throat to intimidate him.
Right now, Diddy's lawyers are trying to transfer him to a different prison. They want a low-security one so that he can attend a drug rehab program and have access to his family, because where he's currently held, it's a lot of the bad guys, which is probably why they're getting the worst kind of food. Remember their Thanksgiving meal? We talked about that. Sounded really foul, and supposedly their food has maggots and stuff in it. That's why you don't do the crime. You won't serve the time. When I hear about these things, oh, I feel so bad for them. But then I start to see the crimes they've committed, and I'm like, oh, okay. Diddy has kept a lot of this stuff to himself because he doesn't want to worry his family. But if you're in jail and you've been charged with anything that's intimate, like sexual, it's not a good place to be. The prisoners take it personal. They look at it like that could have been my mom, my auntie, my daughter. They try to get what they call prison justice. And you have to understand, we're not talking about a regular person. We're talking about Diddy. So I feel like if you do end up doing something to him, they kind of in some, sick way, they get some clout from that too. So Diddy wants the world to know how bad his situation is. And I wouldn't be surprised if there's a world where maybe Donald Trump does pardon him. I mean, there was George Santos. His sentence was commuted, which I don't think that's a pardon, but some type of pardon. He got out of prison and he was supposed to serve 7 years. He served 12 weeks. There was also Todd Chrisley, who was pardoned by Donald Trump. So I don't know why Donald Trump would go and pardon him. In my opinion, it doesn't make him look good, but it also, Todd Chrisley, that doesn't really help. So does George Santos. I don't know how he'll be able to leverage Diddy for his benefit if he did this.
On the next TMZ Live, Donald Trump considering commuting Diddy's sentence. And it's causing a huge stir in the White House.
The White House pushing back on a TMZ report that claimed President Trump is considering commuting the sentence of Diddy. Remember, he was sentenced to 50 months in prison earlier this month. The White House tells NBC News today there's zero truth to the report. But TMZ, a spokesperson for them, says they are standing by their story. Sean Combs' attorney did not respond to a request for comment, but they previously told us, they're pursuing a pardon for him.
There's a reason why Hollywood stars always seem to walk away from scandals untouched. Just like there's a reason why Morgan & Morgan is America's largest injury firm. Most regular people, including me, don't have a legal army behind them. And if you're injured in an accident, insurance companies try their best to pay you as little as possible. That is where Morgan & Morgan comes in. With over 1,000 attorneys and 100 offices across the country, they are built to fight for regular people, not corporations. In Florida, a client was offered $350,000 by an insurance company. Morgan & Morgan stepped in and got them $12 million. Prior results do not guarantee a similar outcome, but these stories are what they do every day. And it's easier than ever. You don't have to deal with those piles of paperwork. You also don't have to pay anything up front. You can even start your claim right now within minutes by using your phone. You could get started by scanning the QR code on the screen using your phone's camera. Remember, the fee is free unless they win. If you ever find yourself injured, then check out Morgan & Morgan. Again, you can start your claim today by scanning the QR code or visiting the link in my description below. It's fast, it's simple, and it could change everything. Let's switch gears and talk about Bhad Bhabie, because Danielle Bregoli, aka Bhad Bhabie, has been in a lot of trouble recently, especially with her baby father, Levon, who they continue to get physical between each other. There are these violent fights. There's these disturbing videos online of her jumping onto a car. There's a lot of toxicity within this relationship. If you know Bhad Bhabie, if you know about her time on Dr. Phil, you know her mother, Barbara. She's always been there. But we don't know much about Bhad Bhabie's father, Ira. And he's now trying to come back into the picture because he feels like he's the only one who could save his daughter. Bhad Bhabie is coming out with a new song titled Honest, and I believe she's speaking about her father, Ira Peskowitz. And he's saying that this song is anything but honest. In Bhad Bhabie's song, she says her dad didn't want her in his life and only wanted to get in touch after she became famous. She raps, "I hope he wastes away. What kind of father sacrifices a relationship for 20K? Ira, her dad, is clapping back. I feel like going to TMZ isn't the best move. I'm not a father, but I think maybe the first step is not doing this. He says, every one of those statements is a complete lie. I didn't sell her for $20,000. I was trying to be part of her life way before Dr. Phil and right before she went on Dr. Phil. I have documentation to show that I tried to get her into a program and tried to help her out, I guess, because at that point she was like, a bad kid. That's why she was on Dr. Phil, telling people to cash her outside. Ira says that their relationship is all based off of what Barbara, Bhad Bhabie's mother, has told her, and that she's fed Bhad Bhabie this information to make her hate her dad. Ira said that he feels like he's one of the only people in the world that Bhad Bhabie could trust, because he says he doesn't want his daughter's money. Everybody else is manipulating my daughter for money, and she knows it. He said to Bhad Bhabie, Danielle, Danny, I'm truly disappointed in you. I know you have a lot of issues. I know I hurt you in the past, but I was here for you. I was. But if you keep bashing me and trashing me like this, I can't be around. I can't sit back and let you get destroyed. Okay, this guy kind of sucks. Like, why is he so, back and forth? Like, do you want a relationship or not? Because you've never been a great father, so I think you need to be everything but kind. Here's a clip of Bhad Bhabie's dad talking about the situation.
I was trying to be part of her life before, way before Dr. Phil, and right before she went on Dr. Phil. I have documentation to show that I tried to get her into programs. Everybody else is using her for her money. What is the purpose to attack me like that? Our relationship was good. We were bonding together. We were visiting together. She was telling me that she loved me. Everything that she said in that thing was a complete lie or slanderous. It was defamation. Yeah, can I go after my daughter and sue her? Why would I want to do that?
I do think that there's a world where Barbara could have been feeding Bhad Bhabie information about her father, Ira, and making him seem like a bad guy. But I also think that he gives me really bad vibes. I feel really bad for Danielle because I feel like she doesn't have one parent that's sane, and she really doesn't have anyone she can trust. This comment reads, I 100% believe that Danielle's mom manipulated her into thinking her dad was a deadbeat. Bhad Bhabie did respond on Instagram. She wrote, I paid $25K actually to terminate my father's parental rights years ago. I tried to fix our relationship, but it didn't work. The only reason I gave him another chance was because Levon suggested I have a father in my life. Bhad Bhabie actually shared an agreement where it looks like her father did accept money, over $20,000, to, I guess, give up his rights as her father. There'll be no contact with Danielle or Barbara or anyone else, and maybe that's why he can't reach out to her. He's going to TMZ, but that is sick that he would accept that money to give up his daughter, who he never really was a part of her life in the first place. And you know what? Bhad Bhabie is too busy with her personal life to deal with her father. He needs to go and maybe do some therapy on his own if you're going to accept $25K to give up your kid. And of course, she's holding on to that because that hurts. She did accredit Levon for the reason that she tried to repair her relationship with her dad, but it looks like she and Levon are not together right now. And I'm not surprised after seeing some of those fighting clips. She posted a picture on Instagram, writing in the caption, left that man, got a bigger house house, signed a check, and got sent another one. So she's trying to act unbothered now, but there's probably part of her that's always like bothered and sensitive about their relationship because she's so emotional in these arguments they have.
Get up right now.
No! He's trying to bust him! Stop! You kick us off!
This comment reads, let's see how long that lasts. She's trying to lure him back. Other comments read, I hope that you're so serious when you say you left him. You and your little baby deserve so much better. You don't need him. You're cooler than he'll ever be anyway. One person noted that you got 15.8 million people telling you to leave this man alone. And I agree. I would love to see Bad Baby just accept one day that this is not going to work. But it's also like we're seeing a very violent and violently filled relationship like play out in real time, and it is hard to watch. So my prayers and well wishes are for Bad Baby and healing and trying to keep that child that they have out of that environment. Now let's talk about Britney Spears, because Kevin Federline sold like 1,000 copies of his book on Amazon, which is really, really low, like really, really low. And I think he thought he was gonna sell a lot more. I think anyone who has seen the amount of content that's gone out there and everything else would assume he would have had more, but no. And this comes at the expense of Britney, his children, so many personal details, and the payoff is not like, no one's buying his book. Everyone got Britney's book, I included, and I don't really buy books too often, but yeah, nobody's getting Kevin's, and I refuse to. Even Jamie Lynn Spears unfollowed Kevin Federline on Instagram, so you know it's bad. Kevin wrote in his book, I was in Miami for work trying to stay focused on my commitments. Oh, good for you, man. I got a call. It was her, Paris Hilton, and Lindsay Lohan on the line, drunk as hell, begging me to come over. I could hear Preston and Jaden crying in the background. It had to be 3 or 4 in the morning. That call was the final straw. In other portions of the book, he's not only exposing Britney Spears, but also exploiting his own children. This is how sick it gets. He writes, every time Preston had to go to his mom's, they had to pry him off my neck. He'd cry, scream, and hold on to everything he had. Kevin says the anxiety bled into nights at home with Preston, describing how Preston couldn't sleep unless Kevin stayed by his side. We have a portion of when he's describing this incident. Let's go ahead and react.
Someone had to put the boys first. And if it wasn't going to be her, it had to be me. That responsibility weighed on me every single day. But I'd carry that weight 1,000 times over if it meant protecting them from the fallout of choices they didn't make and couldn't control. Because there's no preparing for the kind of heartbreak that comes when your child clings to you like their life depends on it.
Oh, the drama. He's really, her kids, we haven't really heard straight from the kids, but they seem like decent.
Every time Preston had to go to his mom's, they had to pry him off my neck. He'd cry, scream, and hold on with everything he had. At night, he was the same. Jaden could sleep fine, but Preston wouldn't rest unless I was right there. Even the slightest movement would wake him in a panic.
I'm not discounting that, there are kids who, are in divorce situations and they like one parent more than other, and the other parent could be abusive, and that is a scary thing, when the kid has to go to a parent who maybe is not fit.
I'd sit beside his bed, my fingers resting on his arm, and the second I moved, he jolted awake, crying.
But also, it sounds like the other child was doing okay, and maybe this Preston, he was not doing okay. And there's also mental health factors. Who knows? Maybe I was a very anxious kid when I was younger, so maybe he's got a lot of anxiety. Again, I'm not trying to discount what he's experienced. I also think that you can't attribute everything to Britney Spears. Kevin then goes on to say that he went to a professional, a therapist, who confirmed that it wasn't just separation anxiety that Preston was dealing with, but early signs of trauma as a toddler. Kevin claims that Preston didn't feel safe at his mom's and felt neglected while Jaden received most of her attention. Britney's team gave TMZ this statement: with news from Kevin's book breaking, once again, he and others are profiting off her, and sadly it comes after child support has ended with Kevin. All she cares about are her kids, Sean Preston and Jaden James, and their well-being during this sensationalism. She detailed her journey in her memoir.
Okay, Kevin, you're really pissing me off. Obviously, I'm a big Britney Spears fan. Maybe I'm biased. I don't know. Maybe I'm a little blind to certain things, but I think I am correct in this situation. He's talking about it's worse than it's 10 times worse than you even know. Okay, well then write about it in your book. You're protecting her, yet you wrote a literal whole book about her, exposing secrets about alleged secrets about the mother of your children. And then he's also saying that his kids have been screaming and begging for a relationship with their mom for years. That's actually not the truth, Kevin, because those kids used to be dangled in front of Brittney like a carrot so that she would continue to be the workhorse to make money for everyone involved in the Brittney orbit. In a way, she was like being like bribed because they were like, if you don't work, if you don't do this.
They were like, if you didn't do your shows, if you didn't do your job, you wouldn't be able to see your kids. And she rarely got to see them. And I think that was something that Jamie Spears, her father, really ran and controlled and used against her. He found her weak point. It was her children. And I think Kevin was completely like complicit. Like when he got the text from Jamie Spears, like, hey, could you actually watch the kids this weekend? Brittney's not going to be able to. He went along with it because that was Jamie's way of punishing her.
You won't be able to see your kids. And that's why she stuck with the conservatorship for so long, or chose not to fight against it for so long so that she could try and maintain any semblance of a relationship with her children.
This commenter pointed out Kevin made sure those kids hate their mom. It is so sad for Britney Spears, especially for her children, that their father, who's supposed to be like the good parent here, right? Kevin, you're the good parent, is selling this book and putting their life out there. And they are young kids like having to deal with their friends and loved ones and stuff, reading about their family. It also kind of reminds me of how Bhad Baby's father like didn't really stand a chance against Barbara, probably telling Bhad Baby how bad he really is. It's kind of like Britney Spears probably doesn't like stand a chance against Kevin after all these years of him telling their sons what the narrative is that he wants to go with. But I want to hear what you guys think of this multiple topic video in the comments below. If you enjoyed this is the same format we're doing on the Let's Get Into It podcast. Go and subscribe to it. It's listed below. I would really appreciate it. And I'll see you in a new video soon. Bye, guys.